Everyone always says that suburban married life is the dream, like stepping into a glossy, airbrushed sitcom. White picket fences, summer barbecues, neighbors who laugh too easily, clink glasses of rose on flower-draped patios while their kids chase each other across perfectly trimmed lawns. And for a long time, I played along. I played my part in that scripted illusion, pretending I lived inside the fantasy instead of behind it. My husband, let's call him Charming Charlie, was the star of our neighborhood. That smile, devastating. Effortless charm, practically a superpower. He hosted fundraisers for city council campaigns, coached Little League, remembered everyone's birthday, and could hold a baby and a glass of wine in the same hand while cracking a joke that made people swoon. People adored him, my family included, especially my younger sister, who I can only describe now as sweet, toxic Sarah. Sarah had those perfect white eyes, the kind people immediately trusted. She was my baby sister, always playing the innocent. But behind the big lashes and soft smiles, something cold had taken root over the years, a distance I couldn't quite define, just feel. It was subtle, like something receding slowly out of reach. Maybe that's why I didn't notice the growing hollowness in my own life. People were always around, yet I felt completely unseen. At family dinners and community events, I was the one pouring wine, clearing plates, smiling politely. No one noticed unless something needed fixing or someone wanted something. Meanwhile, Sarah sparkled. She was younger, flashier, always center stage. Mama Martyr, our mother, made sure I remembered Sarah's fragility, her delicacy, her lifelong emotional sensitivity. "You were always the strong one," she'd say, voice heavy with praise that felt more like dismissal. Like I didn't need support, attention, or softness because I was built to carry everything silently. But things changed when Charlie stopped ignoring me in ways that felt passive and started ignoring me in ways that felt calculated. I noticed first at one of our usual Sunday dinners. Charlie cracked a joke, and Sarah's laughter rang out. Too loud, too intimate. His eyes lingered on her, just for a second too long. Her cheeks flushed like something had passed between them. I brushed it off. I told myself I was paranoid, insecure, maybe even a little jealous. But as the days passed and the suspicions festered, sleep became impossible. I spent long nights staring at the ceiling, crushed under the weight of doubt, until one night I gave in. I reached for Charlie's phone as he slept. That gut-dropping feeling, the one where your stomach turns cold and your breath comes too fast. I felt that before I even unlocked the screen. And then I saw them, text after text, thread after thread, stretching back months. At first, it was harmless flirtation. Playful emojis, little jokes. But it escalated. Quickly. Explicit messages. Plans. Longing. Confessions. Everything laid bare. Every word confirmed the truth I'd been trying not to see. I didn't go to Charlie. Not yet. I went to my mother. I needed someone to hold my hand through the devastation. Instead, she sighed, fiddled with her rings, and looked away. "Family is precious, dear. Forgiveness shows strength," she said, as if I'd told her Charlie forgot to take out the trash. That moment shattered something fundamental. And then I learned that wildcard Will, our mutual best friend, had known for months. When I confronted him, his shame was quiet, pathetic. "It wasn't my place," he said, like betraying me was a minor mistake instead of a knife in the back. When I finally confronted Charlie, he didn't even bother denying it. He laughed cold, casual, as if my heartbreak was some passing inconvenience. I tried to rally some support, throwing a community luncheon, dropping subtle hints about the affair. But all Charlie had to do was smile and murmur about how I was being emotional or jealous, and people believed him. Because of course they did. Who wants to believe the golden boy has dirt under his nails? I became invisible again. No, worse. I became a cautionary tale, something people didn't want to catch, like a disease. The neighbors' smiles turned hollow, their eyes slid away when I walked past. I was alone, all except for Heather, my one true friend, who stood by me with a fire in her eyes, daring anyone to speak against me. She begged me to stop being subtle, but something inside me had already snapped. It was at a prestigious charity gala that everything finally cracked. Charlie was the beloved host. Sarah had planned the catering, naturally. I watched from a distance as he reached for her wrist, gently guiding her away from the crowd with stolen glances and hushed intimacy. That was it. The last splinter of restraint inside me burned to ash. In its place came something new, hot, sharp, and satisfying. Rage. I spent weeks gathering evidence. Every message, Every photo. Hidden cameras. Every sickening detail cataloged and secured. I wrapped it all inside the packaging of another pristine community event. One I insisted Charlie headline. I invited everyone. Mama Martyr. Sweet, toxic Sarah. Neighbors. Friends. All the people who once smiled through me. The event was beautiful. Perfect. Until it wasn't. Just before Charlie's speech, a giant projector flickered to life. And then came the images. The texts. The audio. The videos. One after the other. Every lie. Every stolen moment. Every betrayal. Silence fell. Not the awkward kind, but the kind that crackles with disbelief and horror. Gasps. Awkward laughter. Then silence again. Like watching a trusted mask peel away to reveal something monstrous beneath. Mama Martyr rushed forward, trying to control the damage. "How could you do this to your family?" she cried, more concerned with appearances than the truth on screen. Eyes darted around. Whispers spread like wildfire. The community's golden boy was no longer untouchable. Sarah broke down completely, sobbing, blindsided that someone had finally seen through her fragile act. Some people praised me. Others said it was cruel. Even Heather, brave as she was, admitted it felt a little close to revenge. But I didn't care. For the first time in a long time, I felt. Vindication tasted electric. I saw Charlie unravel, his reputation in ruins, friends disappearing, job prospects gone. Will came crawling back, apologetic, ashamed, begging for a forgiveness he hadn't earned. And Sarah? Forever branded as the manipulative sister, her sweet little act scorched beyond repair. But after all the chaos settled, the silence returned, deeper, lonelier than before. My marriage? Gone. My family? Torn apart. The community? Shattered. And me? I stood in the ruins, victorious and hollow. I've been sitting with that silence ever since, wondering if revenge truly heals, or if it simply infects the wounds with something darker. Maybe I inhaled too much of the poison. Maybe I became what I hated most. A destroyer. Manipulative. Cold. And even now, even with the truth exposed, I don't know if I feel free, or just empty. Tonight, I'm writing this, anonymously, quietly, trying to find clarity in the echo of everything I lost. Wondering if anyone ever truly escapes betrayal without blood on their hands. Or if, in the end, we all become what hurt us.